Hi, and welcome to the Entrepreneur's Toolkit Virtual Summit. My name is Dr. Tanya Wylde, naturopathic doctor. I am proud to be a co-author of this lovely compilation called the Entrepreneur's Toolkit, and I wrote the chapter, A Holistic Approach to Business Success. And in writing this chapter, one of my main goals is to help you maintain your health and thrive with great energy and health as you grow your business or build your career. I have been in practice for 16 years as a naturopathic doctor and love what I do, which I'll go into more detail on why that is. I have a especially big focus on weight loss transformations, diabetes, improving patients' energy, maintaining a healthy hormone balance, and improving success with getting pregnant and staying pregnant, so fertility. And in doing so, when we work on our egg quality and our fertility, we actually improve our hormones for life. So it doesn't just end at growing families, it's also making sure that as we thrive through our family growing years, that we also maintain our health. And perhaps in addition to growing your family, you are building a career lateral to that. So one of my goals is to make sure that you keep your health in check and thrive emotionally, spiritually, physically, mentally, so that you can do all of that, because it definitely requires quite a bit of balance. I love what I do because I change lives every day. I get to have a real impact when people have a health crisis and they are ready to make a life transformation and have a healthy lifestyle, or perhaps they were already healthy and they need support through that health crisis. That happens too. I also love helping people kind of put their puzzle pieces together and figure out where there may be a deficiency or a hormone imbalance that is causing a negative ripple effect on the rest of their body, and helping them find their keystone or cornerstone habit changes that also have a positive ripple effect if they make a change on all the other habits, that allows everything to kind of just flow and be in alignment. Something that I wanted to bring up is that many people see business like climbing a mountain. The climb is tough and full of challenges with very little time to pause, often losing their grip along the way. And that grip could be perhaps their business takes a hit, or their health takes a hit. And then once they're at the top of the mountain, when they get through all that, they get the big reward at the end where everything is better and brighter. And that's how they see their business life and life in general. And while they may feel on top of the world, reaching that metaphorical peak in their mind, it could, that could represent meeting their financial target or their goal for retirement. They often lose their footing, and that is not fun. That footing could be, again, a health crisis, or perhaps just not thriving and not taking enough pauses, and they burn out, and maybe they don't lose their health, but they don't necessarily enjoy the ride. So I read that analogy pertaining to life in general, and I thought, that really translates to the business world, and I want you to see business and goals as different. Like, I want you to imagine that you are essentially on a train instead. So you are going from one station to the next, and you are pausing along the way rather than climbing this big mountain, reaching the top. I want you to see business as moving from one station to the next, enjoying the ride and pausing at each station. And then you can pull the horn to celebrate the many wins along the ride, not only once achieving the end goal. Instead, it's like you're celebrating along the way. One of the things that I do is take quarterly breaks. So I work hard, and then I make sure that I take a quarterly break. So every change of season, a week off, to enjoy all the hard work that I put in, and then reboot. And I also make sure that I protect my time and my sleep and make sure that I find that sweet spot. I tell all my patients, find the sweet spot that allows you to wake up in the morning rested without the alarm. That sweet spot is the bedtime that works for you to do that. So you find the bedtime sweet spot that allows you to wake up the next morning without the alarm. So you're not burning the candle at both ends and then giving yourself a health crisis or making you susceptible to a virus. I think it's so important to get sufficient sleep. Something I talk about in my chapter is how Ariana Huffington, the owner of the Huffington Post, how she essentially woke up to a pool of blood because she had smacked her head on the desk because she was not sleeping enough. For her, that was her cornerstone or keystone habit change, where she recognized after several MRIs and an emergency hospital visit that there was absolutely nothing wrong with her brain, and it was everything to do with the fact that she was not getting enough sleep and taking care of herself. And then she wrote Thrive and created a company called Thrive, which allowed her to find her own balance and encourage it in her employees. I want you to do the same as you're building your career or starting up a business, or perhaps you're in the middle of going big and you realize that you need to take care of your health and prioritize, and you want to enjoy life now, because really, as we grow older, we still enjoy life, and with more money, we have the ability to experience more and enjoy more. But why not enjoy now with the money that you do have? Even if it's little money, you can still experience life. You can move through life really pausing and experiencing with your five senses, right? Your sight, your smell, your touch, the way you feel, what you hear, and you pause and you ground yourself. And that could be taking those quarterly vacations. That could be making sure to protect your nighttime and setting an arbitrary end to your day, allowing yourself to transition to sleep, to have a more restful sleep. Or it could be literally pausing in a way during the day that you just take a brain break and stop looking at technology. And, at the end of the day, we're all here to connect and enjoy, and you're totally able to work hard. I definitely work hard myself. However, I practice what I preach, and I thrive in my life, and therefore I show up happy and healthy for my patients and my family. And it gives me time to really enjoy and connect, and then jump in 100% by setting those boundaries around time outside of my work. It allows me to be fully present with my patients and then fully present with myself, improving my relationship to self, improving my relationship to my children and my spouse. So I want the same for you. And that does require some diligence and some routines, which I talk about in my chapter. I would love to just share something that was really fascinating to me, that also changed my outlook, and then I can talk about how, what compelled me to write this chapter, which I kind of talked a little bit about already. But one thing I have to bring up is that I read this study that said that the happiness scale plateaus when people make more than $70,000 per year. That's not that much. So people who make, and this is a few years ago, so maybe that number changed, but you get the idea. So if you were making more than $70,000 per year, your happiness is equal to people making $70,000 per year. So if you're making $1 million, your happiness already plateaued at $70,000. So those people chasing $1 million, it's kind of interesting. If you are preparing yourself financially, which we've talked about it in other chapters of this book, and you're setting yourself up for a healthy retirement, you can do so without a huge amount of money. If you're somebody who has that potential and that capability go for it. Absolutely, 100%. Get your million or more, and you'll increase your chances for opportunities and experiences, which is fantastic and amazing. It's really important not to lose yourself along the way, because when we retire, we don't want to be repairing our health. We want to be enjoying life at the same time, enjoying now. That's what I'm trying to get across. I want you to enjoy life now and thrive, and then not just deal with recovering your health because you lost your health along the way or lost your relationships. It is so important to maintain good health, good relationships, connection to self and others as you pursue your career path. So I was compelled to write this chapter because as a successful career woman myself, I wanted to kind of have other people feel that balance that I feel. And I actually had my own health crisis in 2017. And I had gallbladder attacks, and the doctors didn't know what was going on. And it was around that time that I realized I had a newborn, so it was like a hormonal thing. And I realized I had to make some nutrition tweaks, which I did. And genetically speaking, I have it in my family history. Gallbladder stones. I thankfully was able to keep my gallbladder. But the surgeon said if they continue to happen, these attacks, because they're extremely painful, and it was the only time I've ever used morphine in my life. But if they came back to go back to the emergency room, he said, but you know what, your gallbladder is not blocked. Go home and do a gallbladder cleanse. That is what the surgeon said. I thought that was really funny. He said, you're a naturopathic doctor. You know what to do. Go home and do a gallbladder cleanse. And so I said, okay, interesting. So what I discovered was A, the gallbladder cleanse helped, and B, I did not need to remove my gallbladder because the stones weren't big enough. So none got stuck, although it was a nightmare for 2 weeks and the worst pain in my life over and over again. I have not had to remove my gallbladder. And I also recognized the emotion that was associated with the gallbladder, and I addressed the emotional connection and how that impacted my life and my gallbladder. And I took care of my mind and my body and my spirit all together, which is what I do with my patients. But what it helped me realize is that my cornerstone habit at that time that I was doing, that was affecting the rest of my life, was that I was watching at least 2 or 3 hours of TV, which a lot of my patients do. And it wasn't allowing me to thrive energetically, because I would get sucked into these shows and watch them and live vicariously through other people's lives. And I realized I need to take a step up and make sure that I start to create healthy routines of wake up, work out, get to bed in good timing, eat healthy, and stop getting sucked into Netflix. And that was my cornerstone habit change. I cut TV out of my life. Can you believe it? Since 2017, I have not watched TV. I have probably watched, on one hand, a number of movies, but that's it. So I highly encourage you to discover your cornerstone change. Now you know what compelled me to write this chapter. I recognize that it is so important to help people find their cornerstone habits and help them find their balance and thrive. And I do so well in practice that a lot of my patients don't need me as often. The goal is to get them discharged to a point where they see me only maybe once a year for something acute or a maintenance visit, kind of tweak their nutrition routine, their supplementation, and they're doing so well, they're thriving as well, and they refer me people. So I love what I do because I get to practice what I preach. I get to help people, and then I help people who have a ripple effect, or that ripple effect, I should say, by helping one person affects people around them. And then I see patients through referrals, which is amazing. And I love impacting people and their families. And that was why I decided to contribute to this book. So some of the areas that people really struggle with when it comes to taking care of their health and finding that balance is finding that time. They feel like their time is so limited. And when you are building a business, yeah, you're going to be putting in extra hours, but there is a lot that you can do to still maintain a healthy routine. And sometimes it's just a matter of having somebody from the outside look in and tweak your lifestyle in a way that you can find the balance. And it might be finding ways to follow the best diet out there for longevity and healthy egg quality, which gives you healthy hormones during the fertile years and beyond, or even healthy quality, sperm, which also, if you're improving your sperm health and you're improving your, male reproductive area, you are improving your hormones as well long term. And we all forget about the hormone insulin as a hormone and cortisol. So when we take care of ourselves, we keep the stress hormone cortisol down and we keep the insulin hormone down and receptive and communicating well with insulin receptors. And that helps us maintain a nice calm hormone balance, and we maintain a healthy weight and we maintain healthy energy. And something that a lot of people don't know is that sugar and flour and foods that contribute to type 2 diabetes, not only does it do that, contribute to type 2 diabetes, and 1 in 3 Canadians are in their adult years pre-diabetic, not only does it impact our cardiovascular health and our potential to develop type 2 diabetes, it slows us down cognitively. So when we eat in a nutritious, healthy way, we not only improve our potential to live long, healthy, we also thrive energetically and cognitively, so we can actually make better decisions and really excel in our career. So my goal always is to help patients find a balance with their nutrition, their movement, their sleep, and essentially make sure that their lifestyle is not impacting their health, in addition to looking at potential deficiencies and hormone imbalances and making sure that they have the right diagnosis if they do have any health concerns. I think that one of the biggest pieces of advice that I could ever give through any kind of transforming challenge that you're having in your life where you're feeling stuck, that would be to pause. Pause in your day. It could be a pause and take a time out from that, whatever you're working on, that's where you feel stuck. It could be like a health transformation. It could be where you feel stuck, or it could be a career move. Either way, pausing allows you to come up with amazing ideas and really make a shift in your life that's healthy. If you continue to make the steady climb and it's too aggressive to the top of that mountain, and you're constantly seeking the peak and you're not grounding yourself and pausing at a train station to allow yourself to reflect constantly. This is something that you could do daily, you could do quarterly. It helps prevent you from getting to those transformation, challenging, stuck areas. The pause really helps. So to reiterate, I want you to imagine life is like a train, and building your career and your business is the same. And I want you to enjoy the ride and take care of your caboose. Take care of your train, your physical self, by pausing and by making sure that you reflect and not just look forward. You want to make transformations slowly, carefully, and with within mind that you are going to incorporate every aspect of health into your life, so that you don't lose your relationships and you maintain your well-being to a high thriving level. Thank you so much for joining us at this virtual summit. I would love to meet you and see you as a patient if you are looking for a naturopathic doctor. I am happy to meet you for a meet and greet to see if we connect first, because I don't treat all conditions. I mentioned earlier that I love helping patients who are working to lose weight, work on their type 2 diabetes, hormonal imbalances, and I want to make sure that anybody that I treat is serious about making changes, because when they are serious and they make that change, they definitely thrive in life, and it's definitely a state of mind. So I want to get you there, but it starts with you.